Let's bring to the stage Elliot Weber.
All right, thank you so much for coming out to this. Thank you for being here. I love Durango. I've lived here for a while. I'm excited to do this in Durango. It's a lovely town with a large population of people who have dietary restrictions and do cocaine. You'll get people to leave brunch and they'll be in the bathroom cutting it up like, I don't think the eggs on that menu are cage-free. I only saw 2 gluten-free options. There's just a high-maintenance attitude about the people in this town. I've met people who get really mad if you pronounce their name wrong, even though it has a ridiculous spelling. Like, yeah, it's Megan, D-I-R-T, Megan, thank you. You guys think your parents have a favorite child? Who's got siblings in here? A lot of people. You think your dad, if he had to, could just walk in and be like, first, second, third, best in show? He shouldn't. I'm sure they wouldn't do that. It's bad parenting. But if they had to, for some reason, like all the siblings were in one room, someone's got a gun to their head, pick one! Or if all the siblings were in one room and it's Christmas and your dad's honest. I have a twin sister, it's my only sibling. So she's coming home with the same teachers, same classes. She's got straight A's. I've got B's in a jar that I'm shaking. Like, look what I found! At that point, my parents are like, what the fuck is wrong with this one? It's not our fault. We have a gifted and talented child over here, and this one is apparently allergic to bees. One time, we asked my dad if he had a favorite child, my sister and I, and he's a tough love, honest guy, so I was worried he was just gonna pick my sister, and he didn't, thankfully. We asked him, and he was like, if we'd gotten dogs instead of had kids, I could retire by now. So he didn't pick a favorite. He did forget me at soccer practice one time when I was 10. All the other parents came and picked up their kids. All the caring parents, I should say, came and picked up their kids. I was just at the park by myself. Eventually, I found a stranger. And I'm not saying it's likely this person would be a child abductor, but there's a chance. And it's important my dad knows that. This is before Amber Alert, okay? How would they have known what car that person drives when they abducted me? Would have been old school milk carton. But I went up to them, asked to borrow a cell phone, called my dad. I was like, does anybody pick me up from soccer practice today? And he was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you safe? I was like, yeah. He's like, thank God. Oh, thank God you're safe. I have a half a beer here. I'll finish that. I'll be there in 45 minutes. Don't leave the park with anybody. What's weird is I never panicked. I remember at 10, I never freaked out at the park as the sun was setting by myself. I was just kind of like, oh, today's the day this happens. That's... Like in my mind, I thought this was inevitable. I knew you had to move out from your parents. I was like, oh, this is how it works? I guess I'll look for an apartment now or something. There's no bedtime at my house, so... I'm self-aware enough to realize that I'm the second favorite child, definitely on paper. My sister's top of the recruiting class. If you had to draft somebody, you pick her every time. She's such an outstanding person, it makes it hard for me to impress my parents with anything I do. Like last summer, she went to Africa and helped build schools for underprivileged women. I finished a Netflix series and did stand-up for 5 people in an adult bookstore. It's like a pretty good gig. I am college educated. I have 2 degrees, economics and exercise science. While studying economics, I learned that getting 2 college degrees and then becoming a comedian is the most expensive way to disappoint your family. Exercise science degree basically qualifies me to be a personal trainer, which is all right, but it's not a skill set you can brag about at parties. I was at a party recently talking to a guy. I was like, what do you do? He's like, oh, I'm getting my foreign diplomat certificate so I can help bring medicine to developing countries. I was like, cool, what's your bench press, though? He's like, can Can you put up 225 or like, I could take you, I bet. I feel like when you see a really muscular person like me or whoever else you know, somebody that looks like they work out all the time, you assume that's all they do. It's gonna be like their only hobby. You'll never hear a conversation between meatheads. It's like, yo, bro, chest and tries tomorrow? The other one's like, no. On Sundays, I read poetry. Muscles, muscles. I am more. It's not my biceps, but my feelings that are sore. Pecs, quads, lats, and glutes. My heart must sing like a band of flutes. Thank you. Thank you. It's probably a waste of time to spend hours in the gym doing those type of exercises. I think there's situations where it'll pay off. I'm hoping for. I'll be on a hike one day, and a slender tree is gonna fall across my chest and be like, yes, finally! Nobody help. This is like 205. I can get 7-8 reps here. I've actually been waiting for this. Will you spot me though? But check my form. I'm going for 7. I wish I didn't care so much about my physical appearance. It's definitely something I think about. Like, I go to the gym to be healthy, but I also go to the gym because I want to look good. Like, I planned it around this, like my comedy. I did arms today because I was like, I hope nobody fucking thinks I have small arms up there. I hope when I leave, even if they didn't think I was funny, at least they were like, he had pretty toned arms though. Were you guys thinking about that at any? This is a recording too, so people are gonna be listening. And if you are, when you do listen to it, whatever mental image you have of the person, just add like more muscular arms. Like 5% or so. Actually, now that I think about it, if you're painting an image, like a big dick too. Just, if you wanna fully understand the voice behind the shit. Oh, man, I used to respect really muscular guys at the gym. If I saw a guy with a good physique, I'd be like, he has a good work ethic, he's dedicated to the gym. Not anymore. I'm no longer impressed by that. To me, it's easy to get a gym membership, start drinking protein shakes, bulk up. The guys I admire at the gym do Zumba. You know how secure you have to be in who you are? As a man to go to Zumba, how secure you are in your body movements in public. I'll take Zumba Steve over a fight with Meathead every time. Go Zumba. We're all on the same side of Zumba. I think in that fight, the Meathead would be like, I'll fuck you up. Zumba Steve just be like, there's no way you can fuck me up worse than your relationship with your father. And the Meathead's like, you're right. It's weak like my calves. Oh man, I have 2 degrees I don't want to use, so I'm working in the service industry. Yeah. Worst job I've ever had in my life was working at Bed Bath & Beyond. And I've had jobs that should have been worse. When I was 16, I worked for a landscaping company where I had to pick up the rest of my crew from the halfway house, which if you don't know, it's when you're in jail, but you can leave 8 hours a day to work. I had no idea at 16. My boss just wrote down the address to pick up the crew. I was driving in like, this apartment complex has so much security. My crew got in the truck. I was like, I like your matching ankle bracelets. That's sweet. Is it best friends thing? Can I get one of those? I want in on that. After that, I worked in a kitchen where everybody was on meth. And you can tell when people are on meth. Like, if you didn't see your friend for a couple years and they started doing meth, when you saw them again, you'd for sure know. Probably from a distance, you think they look good. They're like, oh, you slendered down. That looks great. When you get close, you're like, oh, what the? Did you pull all your teeth out? You've been playing lottery scratchers on your arms, bro? What the fuck, man? And that wasn't that bad either. They were actually really hard workers. Very energetic crowd, man. They're very precise with their measurements. You could tell they were experienced cooks. They were just dangerous because of the meth. They would do things like one guy left a burner on, or they'd leave a knife out. One guy lost a tooth in a salad, I think, at one point. Worked with people on meth and people in jail. And the most miserable I've ever been in my life was at Bed Bath & Beyond. That's the worst store. There's not that much beyond Bed and Bath. It's some kitchen stuff. That's pretty much it. I think beyond is an overstatement. You know, it's rolling pins, not spaceships. Take it down. Take it down a notch. You have customers come in there, though, think they're all cute. They're like, oh, what's the Beyond? Is that in the back room? You want to know what's in the back room? I went in there one day, saw one of my managers crying on the shoulder of the other, just like, I have to spend the rest of my life here. That's the Beyond. It's the crippling despair of the employees. And rolling pins. The only thing Bed Bath & Beyond sells, every product, is just the solution to a problem a different product created. They're like, got too many Bed Bath & Beyond coupons? Get this coupon organizer. Uh-oh, too many coupon organizers? Get space bags, vacuum seal that, kick it under the bed. Accidentally use that stainless steel knife set to murder your wife? Get the stains out with OxyClean. Find it at Bed Bath & Beyond. The only people that shop at Bed Bath & Beyond are single white women and gay dudes who just moved in together. Where's your place? It's the exact opposite of Home Depot, which is single white men and lesbians that just moved in together. I think the reason I was so miserable at Bed Bath & Beyond was I felt like my job didn't matter, and it started carrying over. I just got stuck thinking about how nothing matters at all. Do you guys ever think about that stuff for too long? Like about how eventually the sun's gonna blow up and there'll be no evidence humanity ever existed, so nothing you do really matters. You guys hearing this for the first time, or are we... I don't know. Here's how I know I'm an idiot. I think like that. I know nothing matters, but last week I tried on 3 different shirts before I went to the dentist, dude. What? Why do I care? Doesn't matter. Also, never paid off. The dentist has never been like, you just gotta floss a little more, but those shoes with that shirt, I love it. It looks so good. Did you do arms today? Was it arm day? You look. I don't know. It's a bummer. I'm not trying to bum you out with the thought, but there's a positive spin on it. If nothing matters, I think that means you're the only person that can determine the success and happiness of your life, right? That's kind of a beautiful thing, I guess. Like, it doesn't, sure, we're all stardust in the end, so it doesn't matter if you cure cancer or invent Flex Seal. As long as you loved it, you're good. If it brought meaning to your life. That's why I'm doing this. Why I'm doing the comedy. It's the thing that brings the meaning to my life. This is what I was going for, by the way. I was like, what if right in the middle it just like got real quiet for a while? That'd be kind of unique. That'd be different than the other albums with all the laughs. There was poetry earlier too. It's a variety show. No, I think it's great to have that perspective that you get to decide your own happiness. It makes me a realist. You know, it makes me happy, not stoked on life. I know too much to be stoked. Like, I would never whistle. If you walk down the street whistling, I think you're a little bit dumb. If I see that, I'd be like, oh, shit. Did nobody tell him? Nobody told him it. I gotta tell him, dude. Just like tap him on the shoulder, be like, hey, I didn't know if you know Yankee Doodle, great song. I didn't know if you knew that eventually the sun's gonna blow up and all of humanity. Oh, you did? Okay, I just didn't know if you knew about that thing because you were whistling like an idiot. This is how skewed my perspective is. If he was like, yeah, I just benched 315, I'd be like, all right, whistle away, that makes sense. Of course you're happy. I think that having that perspective is also good because I don't understand hateful people. Like, I don't understand people who are stoked on life, but I don't understand people that are hateful during their life. Someone who's like commits their life. They're all like, I gotta make sure gays don't get married. It's the sinners, it's the work of the devil. Honestly, part of me kind of admires the passion. A little bit, you know? I'm like, whoa. At least they care. I mean, I haven't cared that much about anything ever, so that's... You don't see a work ethic like that often, is what I'm saying. No, it's stupid and a waste of time to be in a hate group. Could you imagine that person's schedule? They got to picket gay weddings every weekend, Saturday, Sunday? Sounds exhausting. I show up to my part-time job like half the time. There's no way I'm making it every weekend. It's stupid and it's a waste of time to be hateful in life. I'm not sure people who try and end hate necessarily go about it the right way. The common thing to do is just say don't, right? You see someone being hateful, you try and stop it. If someone's walking down the street like, I fucking hate Asians, nothing's changing my mind on that today. Common thing, you're like, don't hate Asians. And they're like, oh, you changed my mind on that today. That's not what's gonna happen. They're probably gonna be like, fuck you, I hate being told what to do, and I hate Asians. And you don't really get anywhere. That's why you have to open up a dialogue and have a conversation with them. Be like, why do you hate Asians? And then they'll respond with something like, because God told me to. And you'd be like, oh, well, God's not real. And you see how opening that dialogue allows you to have a productive conversation? I shouldn't say that. Shouldn't say God's not real. I haven't read the Bible. I know some of the key stories. There's David and Goliath. There's 3 little pigs. At the end, the cow jumps over the moon. I get the gist. I was like, here's what I'm hung up on the most for Christianity. If heaven is so great, why don't you go now? Hey, I'm not saying kill yourself. Whoa, hey, whoa. I was just curious. Life's not bad. You know, I have to work a double on Earth tomorrow. In heaven, I'd have doubles tennis tomorrow, but... Not saying kill yourself. I think hell's the opposite of heaven, where it's just all the little things on Earth that annoyed you all happening at the same time. There's just a bunch of people scraping the bottom of yogurt containers, like, fuck! Everybody's licking sauce off their... I was licking sauce off their finger. This is the thing that annoys me the most about people ever, and it definitely is in hell. There's water there, but every time someone takes a sip, it's just like this. Drives me crazy. My coworker did that. She doesn't work with us anymore. I have a good job now. I like my job that I have now. I'm a server at a brewery. That's really good. I still get the high maintenance people that come in Durango. I had a table the other day, and right when they sat down, she's like, just so you know, before we get started here, there's 3 vegetarians, 2 gluten intolerances, and 4 food allergies at this table. I was like, that's incredible. There's 3 of you. You just listed 9 things. She's like, yeah, some of us have all 3. If I see bread in here, I will cry. By the way, it's Brittany, C-A-N, Brittany. Thank you. I try not to complain about it. I like my job a lot. I made one woman really mad at work recently. I spilled a little beer on her baby's head. That's where you guys come back. I lost you with the dark shit for a second there. But as soon as beer's on a baby, you're like, yeah! She was pretty mad about it. She's like, excuse me, there's beer on my baby. I was like, well, then I'll need to see ID. And she got mad. She didn't tip, which that seems a little unjust to me. I saw the way she ate her burger. There's no way it's the first thing that's been spilled on her baby's head. It's a restaurant. Spills happen. Maybe leave your baby at home until it's spill-proof or whatever. That's how you know there's too many people in the world if you can't even spill beer without hitting a damn baby anymore. I'm bisexual, you guys. Yeah, take that, Dad. Those 3 liked it. Fuck it. I don't think people expect that, and that's just because you can't tell how many dicks somebody sucked just by looking at them. It's not like meth, where you can tell. I think if you could tell, we'd learn things about people in here right now. No, man, I think it's important that I can say I'm bi, I can express my sexuality, because it used to be illegal to be gay in this country, like not that long ago. 1968, it was illegal to be gay, and then it turned to 1969. Everybody laughed for like 25 minutes. And then they got up, and they're like, I think it's cool if people are gay now. That's so strange to me, because it used to be illegal to be gay, but you can't tell if people were gay. So the police would set up stings where a cop would go undercover, and his assignment was to try and bust gay dudes. What a waste of police resources. That was some dude's assignment. He would walk past an armed robbery in an alley, step over a murdered body outlined in chalk into a gay club. It's just a bunch of guys like, I fucking love this song. He's like, injustice. It must be stopped. And then he starts buying drinks for gay dudes, trying to get them liquored up, until eventually he's like, hey, do you want to come home and have gay butt sex with me? And the gay guy's like, yeah. And then he pulls out handcuffs, and the gay guy's like, fuck yeah. But it's not that way anymore. You can be gay if you want to, and that's great. Or if you are. I don't know. Did I get that right? We still live in it's still a heteronormative society, which is liberal arts for most people are straight. If you don't know. And it's true, you see it in pop music, songs, always about a guy trying to get a girl at the club. I'm hoping this summer, the hottest song is by a super gay rapper. We're all just singing along in our car. Like, yeah, all the boys in the club, take your shirts off. All the girls in the club getting Uber. Yeah, Get the girls out of here. I don't know, but you get it. I see it at work. I was waiting on a guy, he obviously thought I was straight, because he just asked me, he's like, what night do the chicks come in here? And I love destroying heteronormative behavior. So I was like, I don't know, but Wednesday nights, some guys come over after soccer practice. It's pretty high, you should check it out. And he was like, are you gay? And I was like, depends. Are you a cop? Not falling for that again. It's weird looking back on high school, because I didn't identify as bi then, and the things I did, like we called everything gay in high school. That's just what my generation did. We call everything you didn't like gay. High school was basically walking around trying not to get called gay, and someone's like, that's gay, and you're like, oh shit, let me do something else. I'm gonna give Jason a hand job. They're like, that's gay. You're like, fine, I'll join the soccer team. Like, that's gayer than the hand job. You're like, fuck! I just want to be cool, because that's what gay meant. Gay was just uncool. And if you got called gay too often, you have to go after prom instead of the party. You had to go to the Christian kid's house and watch movies. I don't want to do that. I want to go to the after prom party. That's where all the hot football players are. I feel bad about it looking back, about like how I acted in high school, homophobic, and then being bi now. But I also realize that high schoolers aren't good at decision making. It's pretty much one question universal for high schoolers before they do anything, like, is that gonna make me come? Nope, not doing it. Hey, why didn't you do your algebra homework? Started it, didn't come, so I'm not doing it. Except there's probably a couple kids who started to get hard during algebra. Nerd, worse than gay. Worse than gay, that's a nerd. I was 21 when it came out, so people from high school, people from my past, some of them think something happened that turned me gay, like I got turned gay somehow, which is ridiculous. Not how it works, but I love to pretend that's how it works. I was at the gym the other day in the locker room, and I was facing one way with my back to a guy. I didn't know he was there. His back was to me. I bent over, and our asses touched a little bit, and he jumped up all awkward, and I was like, you're gay. No, you're gay. And he started getting real mad at me. I was like, I don't make the rules, but you're gay. And he was like really freaking out. I was like, all right, calm down, man. At least I didn't get it on your baby. I had one guy yell at a show, he's like, as soon as your lips touch a dick, you're gay. I was like, that's a high stakes form of tag, man. Because you could just turn people gay in that situation. I feel like some of you just thought of the person you would turn gay. You're like, I would get him. He deserves it. Or you're like, he's cute, let's get him. You could though, you just sneak into someone's room at night, they wouldn't even know. Boop, you're it. They wake up in the morning, their mom's like, good morning. They're like, morning, mother. You look so cute, you look so cute. There's two people who it was really hard for me to come out to. One of them, my best friend from high school, was very religious, so I didn't know if he was going to accept me as being bisexual. And when I told him, he gave me a flyer to his church that said, you cannot climb your way to heaven with a handful of penis. That's kind of a good point. I don't know if you've ever tried to climb a ladder with something in your hand. It's hard to do. Pro tip, put it in your mouth. Easy going. Easy going. The other person was my uncle. He's in his 70s, so especially being bisexual, he didn't even really know what I meant. He's like, what do you mean bi? Half he is gay? I don't want to sit by the gay half. He's like, no, Uncle Rob, that's not how it works. It's not half of a person that's gay. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sunday morning, but other than that, I'm as straight as can be. But that could be problematic too, because maybe I'll hook up with a guy Friday night, but then I wake up Saturday morning all straight. Like, what's this faggot doing in my house? Thank you guys so much for coming out, being a part of this. Really appreciate it. Have a great night.